I want to talk to you today about something bigger than all of us. Bigger than you. I want to talk to you today about a new type of relationship. I've been studying relationships for the last 10 years. I've probably read over 350 books on it. And I'm still working on them. Anybody still working on them? Me too, right? So I was going along and I'm reading this book, and I came across this book called Greater Than You by Steve Farber. Anybody ever heard of it? Just now? Okay. Great book, kind of simple, not a whole lot of meat to it, but this concept of greater than you. Greater than you. Greater than you. And you know, I started thinking about who are we really committed to? Who are we really committed to? So much so that we want them to be greater than us. I started thinking about that, kind of like you're thinking about it right now. Now, you know, we want people to be successful, right? We want good wishes for them, right? I want Tim to be successful. But do you really want him to be greater than you? I don't know, right? I said, okay, what relationships do we really start with? Instinctively, do we want people to be greater than us? Our kids, right? You know, your kid, you create this love that you've never thought you could have for another human being, right? You know, I mean, how many of you have kids less than 5 years old? Right? How many are you still in awe to how much you can care about them? It's like, God, I mean, I think about them all the time. What are they doing? Are they laughing? Are they having fun? Are they playing, right? And you're like, care for this person in a way that you've never thought you could care before. And I started thinking about that. Okay, we instinctively have that. Do you feel like you're a better person since you became a parent? Anybody? Anybody said, you know what, I stepped up my game when I became a parent, right? Had to step up my game. Think about it. You had to start caring for people in ways that you never had before, right? So I started thinking about that, and all right, I'm processing that, you know. And I'm thinking about, you know, why don't we apply that kind of relationship to other people? Why don't we apply that kind of relationship to business relationships? Who do we really want to become greater than us that's a business associate with us? Now, granted, I know we're all sitting there, oh, you know, I want that. I want that. I need that, right? But what are we really committed to do? And I started thinking about this country that we're part of, right? Going through some hard times, economy not where it used to be. You know, we're all talking about that. We're all thinking about it, right? Anybody think about the economy? Anybody talk about the economy over the last year? Raise your hands, all of you. Everybody raise your hands. You all talked about the economy over the last year, right? Think about what our founding forefathers were doing when they signed the Declaration of Independence. Think about what they were doing. They were telling a big bully, right, to go do what? Pound sand, right? Now, think about these people. They were pretty rich farmers, bourgeoisie, middle class, right? But they had made a decision to do something that wasn't necessarily in their own best interest, right? They could have kept paying taxes. They could have kept going along merrily down the way, but they decided that it was better for their kids and people in general that they would be able to have a greater life than them if they made this declaration. That's kind of powerful, isn't it? That's kind of powerful. That's what this country is based on, isn't it? Isn't that what this country is based on? Yeah. And so I started thinking about that. And then I was like, think about your family. Think about Grandpa Dunnigan, Grandpa Ball, Grandpa Scelzo. 4 people, Salvatore, Marie, Nicolini, Raphael, and Rossini, Scelzo, made the decision, right, to leave their country, get on a boat, go where people didn't know the language, right? Get on a boat, hope they could find work, hope they could find family, to find a better life. Now, who did they really do that for? Who do they really do that for? Their kids. So when I started thinking about this greater than you thing, I started thinking, man, it's really fundamentally, it's about being American, isn't it? It's about what we are all about, right? And I started getting scared. Because I started thinking about this immediate gratification culture we're in. I mean, I'm awful. I want my Venti Mocha 3 equal with whip now, right? Anybody else want it now? We have a saying in the office, right now. We would try to do things right now. Anybody else on that kind of sense of urgency? Raise your hands. Raise your hands. You wait more than 30 freaking seconds for your drink at a restaurant, and you're like, where the heck is that waitress? Aren't you? We do that, right? So I started thinking about this some more. And a friend of mine I was talking to the other day, and we're going back and forth. We're talking about relationships. And I was talking about somebody else that was just a coaching client or something of mine. And they said, I just love how much you love people. And I was like, how much you love people? I mean, how much you love people? I mean, that's what we're supposed to do, right? And then I was thinking to myself, why do I do that? And I started going back, and I was like, about 7 years ago, I read a book. And in that book, it's talked about what is the one animal on earth that never has to pay for its lunch? Anybody? The one animal on earth that never has to pay for its lunch. Anybody? Lion? No. Reed, you know what it is? A dog. Why? Because the dog's always got his tail wagging, right? He's always excited to see you. All you have to do to never have to pay for your lunch is always wag your tail. Okay? First lesson. All you got to do is always wag your tail. I want you to write that down. If you didn't get anything else today, at least you got that. Wag your tail, you don't pay for lunch. Got it? So I was talking and we were kind of going through that. I was like, that's probably that. Is it a wag the tail, or is it the greater than you thing? And then I started thinking about, God, some of the most powerful relationships that I have in my life that aren't or don't have to do with my kids are really the people that I'm helping and believe can be greater than me. Because I'm willing to invest in them and love them. That's right, I said the L word in business. Love them to push them to get and become even greater than I think I am. And that's pretty great.